Hi, Jessica Carter here with your Metabolic Reset. I feel like one of the buzzwords right now, and it has been for a while, is macros. And maybe you're counting, or maybe you have friends who are counting their carbs and protein or fat, their macros. And I do think it's super important to have a good balance of these in our life. But we also need micronutrients. So I don't want us to forget about micronutrients. Most adults are deficient in some of the primary nutrients needed to stay healthy. There are actually 31 essential vitamins that we need, vitamins and minerals. I'm going to briefly go over 5 that are really specifically related to metabolic health. That doesn't make the other ones less important. So, excuse me, even though I'm not mentioning calcium and fiber, doesn't mean that they are less important. So we're going to start with vitamin D. Vitamin D makes your teeth and bones strong. I think most of us know that. It also aids in glucose control, insulin control. It supports our muscles, nerves, and immune system. We can get it from the sun, and I believe our country really fell into a deficiency here when we started to promote sunscreen. I actually recommend 10 to 20 minutes in the sun without sunscreen unless someone has told you otherwise, a doctor or physician. And we can get vitamin D from eggs, fatty fish. 50% of Americans are vitamin D deficient. Next up is magnesium. Magnesium plays many crucial roles in the body. It supports muscles and nerve function and energy production. I'm just going to take a side note that a lot of times some companies will be like, oh, this will give you energy. If it has caffeine in it, then you could just drink a cup of coffee. What we're talking about on this podcast is natural energy. Natural energy that your body is making from the metabolizing of food, nutrients, and minerals. So low magnesium levels usually don't cause symptoms, so it's hard to see this one. However, chronically low levels can increase the risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and osteoporosis. We get these naturally from whole grains, dark green leafy vegetables, low fat milk, and yogurt, dried beans and legumes, so specifically soybeans, baked beans, lentils, and peanuts, and then nuts such as almonds and cashews. I believe baked beans are pintos. I wonder why it worded it that way. 50% of Americans are magnesium deficient. So the first two I listed, 50% of us are low in that. So zinc is next. It's a crucial player in the insulin system. And, we're talking about that a lot when we talk about metabolic health. It's really necessary to synthesize carbohydrates, fat, and protein. And it also helps us activate the vitamin D, which we've already kind of talked about as for immune system and the metabolic function. So zinc is important to wound healing and our sense of taste and smell. I'm just going to leave that there. We get this from chicken and red meat. And so people who are eating chicken and red meat tend to not be low. People who are not tend to be low. So I think that probably makes sense. Omega-3 fatty acids. I feel kind of like this was a buzzword a few years ago. I was on fatty acids, 15 years ago. And then I kind of got away from it. And then I really came back to how important it is again. I think that happens a lot when we're doing something, even with yoga. So I did yoga and then I didn't and did and didn't. We probably all have that kind of thing in our life. Well, I think most of us know that fatty acids are really here to support the inflammatory response. But it's also important in the metabolic process. So when I think about fatty acids, I think about heart health and brain health. That's just kind of simplifying it all. And since it's brain health, this can really affect focus and it can affect mood. And I'm going to come back to that. I want you to kind of put a pin in that. Focus and mood, brain health, things we don't want later in life. Over 68% of adults And over 95% of children in the United States do not consume enough omega-3 fatty acids. So when we're thinking about sending kiddos, and I used to be a teacher, I think most of you know that, sending kiddos to school without what they need for brain focus and what they need to mood regulate, and how anxiety levels are so high now in the schools, fatty acids are something that we can really use to help our kiddos with this. And obviously 68% of adults are struggling with this too. So when I list the things that we get it from naturally, I think you'll see why we're pretty low on this in this country. So it's fish, flaxseed, chia seeds, and walnuts. My husband does not like seafood, so we are not doing a lot of fish in this house. And I'm actually reactive to chia seeds and I think maybe flax seeds and a lot of nuts. I don't think I'm reactive to walnuts. So I have to supplement this. Like, I am not getting this from my diet. And then the last one I'm going to talk about are the B vitamins. And specifically 6, 9, and 12. I feel like B12, everybody talks about B12, and that's known for the impact on energy. But it also aids in the glucose metabolism. It helps keep the body's blood and nerve cells happy, and it helps make DNA, which is the genetic material of all the cells. And we can get this from broccoli, Brussels sprouts, leafy green vegetables, cabbage, kale, spring greens, spinach, chickpeas, and kidney beans. So chickpeas are also garbanzo beans. That's the same thing. So hummus. I love hummus. So 40% of people in the U.S. are deficient in B12. 40%. So let's kind of talk about this. I always want to just kind of say something you can do on your own. I'll try my best. So we could be trying really hard to get in 2 to 3 servings of fruit daily. I would probably say I'm getting in 1 serving of fruit 3 times a week, and 3 to 5 servings of vegetables, and 3 to 5 servings of vegetables daily. And if I'm honest, I would say I'm probably getting 2 servings of vegetables in daily. That hurts me to say it out loud. And 12 ounces of fish each week. And I'm probably getting no ounces of fish in each week. I could probably add that to my lunch, right? John only eats dinner with me. So I really, truly believe we have to supplement. Even if we're eating the healthiest diet, it's almost impossible to get everything we need. And remember, I just talked about 5 of the 31 vitamins and minerals that we should be getting into our diet. And I've had some people tell me that we can just get a test and only supplement the things we're low in. But let's just say, for example, if we were hydrated that day, they're like, oh, you're getting in plenty of water, so I just don't have to drink water anymore. Like, that's not the mindset I go for. If we really should, and I don't like the word should, so I'm sorry about that, but if we really should be getting in these daily, and it's difficult to eat the fruits, vegetables, and fish that we need daily and weekly, then we supplement to keep those levels. So hopefully that makes sense. So I've been using the same supplement for almost 8 years, and about 3 months in, it might have been 3 to 4 months in, I didn't know to keep up with info like that as much as I do now, but I felt about 10 years younger. And I just know my body was finally getting the nutrients it needed to heal itself. So let's talk about other supplements. And feel free to pick your own supplements, but let me help you out a little bit. So first of all, most supplements are hard packed. And so you take it out, you can like tap it on the counter, and it's like click, click, click. That's basically a rock. Like, you're feeding your body a rock, and your body's like, what do you want me to do with this? And so it passes it straight through the system. My mom used to work at the water department in a little town in Georgia, and you can also Google this about other cities that are struggling. But these supplements go all the way to the water department, and they're stacking up like 3 to 4 feet high, and they're having to go in with a wheelbarrow and a shovel and shovel them out. They're still whole. You can still read the brand name on them. So that is literally flushing money down the toilet. Literally. The worst news is it can get caught in your small intestine or large intestine and actually create blockages that need surgery. So they're super bad. So it's better to be on no supplements than a hard packed supplement. Like, just throw those away. We're hurting ourselves. And the other thing is we want them to be whole food. So real food. When you take it, your body says, "Oh my gosh, thank you for that broccoli. Thank you for the kale." And it's not it and we want to make sure it's not synthetic. So when you're looking at the ingredients of supplements, if there's a word you don't recognize, just Google it real fast and see if that's a synthetic version of that vitamin and mineral. Sometimes we just don't recognize vitamin and minerals, and Google will tell you. Google knows. But if it's like synthetic version of vitamin A, that's a common one. Our body doesn't know what to do with synthetic vitamins and minerals. So yet again, it's just going to pass them through. So even if you've seen your urine change color, like it's a bright orange or something, it's passing through things that your body doesn't need, including synthetic supplements. So what I recommend is whole food, soft packed, bioavailable. My body wants it. It's going to absorb these nutrients because they are whole food. So I'm going to put a link in there to our vitamins. If you have any questions about our vitamins, you guys know I do a free 20-minute health consultation, at least at the time of this recording. I guess this could be here for 5 and 10 years, and maybe I don't anymore, but at the time of this recording, I did. So, guys, I'm super serious about supplementation. Oh, I do want to say one more thing. So the ones that I take, they're not super duper packed, ultra. Our bodies don't need that. And that's another thing. If you see your urine change color, it was something super duper packed that your body didn't need, and it just passed it right through the system. And so what our company did is they looked at the healthiest American diet and saw where we were lacking in the vitamins and minerals, and then took a smack dab to the middle of that. So that way we have some room on either side. If we even are high or low on something, it's still going to get us into that healthy range. So let me know if you have any other questions. Happy to answer any questions you have about supplements. I'm actually quite passionate about supplements. I have no intention of getting off supplements. I feel absolutely amazing. I had several people tell me, Jessica, you're getting younger. And so I really think it's the supplements. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next week, and let me know if you have any questions. Look at the show notes. I probably have some goodies for you in there, and please subscribe and rate. Bye, guys.